Valentine's dinner, late lunch, early dinner. Couldn't be easier. Steak, prawns, and of course with a good steak, mushrooms. This steaming here is cauliflower, that's parboiled and become a casserole. To do a steak, it needs to sit at room temperature for an hour before it cooks. Salt, pepper it on both sides. Prawns are delicious. Really all they need is some garlic and butter, and that's great. And the mushrooms will go on the steak, and I'm gonna make a herbed butter for the steaks. How I do the steaks is we're gonna sear it on both sides and then put them in the oven to cook. And depending on how long you cook, depends on how well your steak cooked. But first I'm gonna tell you the mushrooms. They basically saute with olive oil, butter, and a bit of red wine, salt and pepper, and put them on a slow cook, a low, and let them just cook with their own juices. The herbed butter will come into play when I'm searing the steaks. So I will take, I'm just putting thyme here, I'll be putting a tablespoon of butter per steak, thyme, garlic. If you don't know how to take thyme off, the little leaves, hold it at the top and pull them reverse. You have to have a little bit of patience because sometimes the stem breaks, and they're delicious. Thyme is so good with steak. And so is rosemary. So I'm gonna finely chop this up, put that in. Couple cloves of garlic. I'm gonna use the same butter for the prawns. After the prawns cook in the oven with the steaks, I'm gonna put them in at the same time and watch them because they only take maybe a few minutes. Okay, so I'm using this soft silicone cup so that I can really help mash together all of the herbs, rosemary, thyme, and garlic, so that can sit. Like I said, that butter is going to go in after I've seared the steak, and it almost becomes the sauce. Yesterday I made this. This is for the cauliflower casserole that's baked. 125 milliliters of milk, close to 2/3 of a cup. I'll credit the person from YouTube's recipe that I am following, and she did a head of cauliflower. Now this is from Costco, so it's a bag, so it's probably a bit more, but you know what? I'm just gonna see how it goes following her instructions. So yeah, 125 of milk. The same for oil. I'm using olive oil in this case. 2 eggs. Oh, and here are the mushrooms. The butter is making it smoke. My husband is acting goofy on the other side of the camera.
No, I'm not.
And so the person on the internet whose recipe this is used yogurt. I'm not going to use yogurt. I'm going to use sour cream because it's what I have. This is how I cook. 200 milliliters. That's what I'm going to use. You whip it up. You put a teaspoon of paprika. Nice. Good. The oven's on. 375. Let's mix this up. And then I'm going to add salt and pepper, stir it about. And then the last step, once this kind of cooks together and the eggs will kick in, I'm sure. And then I put cheese on top. What's not to like about that? How to make a very good steak. So this has been sitting at room temperature, and this is a hot pan. So you want to sear in the flavor. Hot pan, room temperature steak. Remember your the herbed butter is ready to put in. You can tell by the smoke. Darn, that wasn't hot enough. Probably time to flip it. Okay, butter. Here's the French onion soup, ready to serve. Adding in just a touch of red wine. Woo! But I think the red wine does make a really nice glaze. And into the oven